today we actually have the exact same model from my last tutorial where we took my client from a golden blonde to a platinum blonde, and I will link that up above here if you want to go ahead and watch that one. It's been about 4 months since I last did her hair, so I'm sure she's got a ton of grow out, and she's been in college, so she's wanting to transition to something that's more low maintenance, more dimensional. So we're gonna do a, how would you call this? I would call this a reverse balayage, basically. And I don't know if that's what somebody else would call it, but we're basically taking her from grown out platinum blonde to a soft, lived in dimensional blonde. So that way she can maintain it. You know, she doesn't live here in town since she's away at college, so she wants something that can just have a nice soft grow out and be low maintenance. So for her color today, I'm going to be using Redken Shades EQ, and I will list all of my formulas down below because I know it's like, you're not going to remember it if I say it, but if you see it down below, it's just easier to remember. You can write it down, that type of thing. So I'm going to list all my formulas down below, but I'm using Demi-Permanent for her low light, and then I'll be using Oxy Cur from Goldwell for her highlight. And then there are 2 NVPs that you need in order to make this type of transition just a lot easier. The first is a balayage board. So this one is the B Boards by Becky Miller. Fun fact, my first salon I worked in, I worked right next to Becky, so that was fun. That was a long time ago. And then the other are long foils. My favorite are from Costco. They're like 12 bucks for a huge box. They last forever. These will save your life because then you don't have to fold your foils. When you're doing your low light, you can just stack one right on top of the other, and it just makes life so much easier, and then you don't get a crease in your low light. I'm just waiting for Aspen to get here, and then when she's here, we'll get started. We'll show you the before, we'll show you the during, show you the after. So stay tuned on how I take a grown out platinum blonde to a dimensional lived in blonde. So our plan for Aspen's hair today is we are going to part her off into 4 quadrants. So now that she's parted off, basically what we're just going to be doing is taking slices of low lights all the way up. And the reason that we do a slice of a low light is because if you try and weave it in, you're just going to lose it in her hair, and it's going to look really like kind of muddy, or they're just really stringy and just blend right in. So in order to get the most impact and also save the most time, we're just going to take thin slices and layer the low light. So we'll probably do about 2 low lights and then 1 highlight so that we break up her regrowth. And then, so with the low light, I never really drag it all the way through because then it can look really stripy against her really light ends. So there's 2 things that you can do, and I'm actually going to be doing both of them. The first is that when you feather it down, you can then use clear on the rest of it just to blend that in and make sure everything just kind of marries together. And the second thing you can do is on some of them, use a low light shade that's a few shades lighter. So we're doing like a 6-7 up in here, and we're going to do an 8-9 through here so that it not only blends in, but also gives us a lot of dimension through her ends too, so that she's not just solid blonde all on the bottom. So that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna get to work now. So I have not had a day off since the weekend of Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Yeah, which is so
Not
sad.
a single day?
No, not one day.
Why did you do that?
I've come to realize I really like making money.
Oh yeah, I feel that. I've been there with
one weekend. It was I just came in here to like record stuff, and then last weekend I had to work. This weekend I had to work. It's just like because I'm working 2 jobs. Like
yeah,
that's pretty much why. And
you making good money though?
Yeah, for sure.
You have to have time to spend the money.
Oh well,
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I mean I spend it for sure, but what I'm really doing is like paying off a bunch of stuff and saving a bunch of money and trying to be like smart about it, and like I got a credit card I have to pay off, and I have student loans, you know, so I'm trying, my goal is to like try and be debt free this coming year.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's where it's also kind of like it's good, it's good to have money, you know.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it's not like I'm like just saving all of it or just having like it's like I'm using it to pay off debt, which is not fun at all. Like I wish it was something
you make a payment and you're like, yeah, I'm so excited.
Seriously, I mean it's been exciting when I pay something off, but the problem is this is what I did. This will be the life lesson time to you, is like I wasn't working very much. I was just doing hair, and I was working on like my online business and stuff and doing YouTube and whatnot, and I would just be like, oh, it's okay, I'm gonna, you know, do this, it's gonna make lots of money, so I'll just put it on my credit card, and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, like, this thing's racked up quite a bit. And so now I have the fun of paying it off, which is not nearly as fun as it was racking it up. So
I got it. After I've taken 20,000 pictures. So pretty.
Okay, all done. And I could not be more happy with how her hair turned out. I just always have so much fun with her. It's so cool to like see somebody that you've had as a client for so long when they were so young and watch her grow up and be like an adult now. It's really, it's exciting. I love that. It's like obviously one of the best parts of being a hairstylist is getting to grow with your clients. But anyways, back to the hair, obviously, because that's why we're all here. I loved how her hair turned out, and you can see that the pieces that I pulled the color all the way through her ends, because I did it at a level 8-9, it doesn't look stripy, it doesn't look weird, it blends in with her hair. And I find that that's the issue with low lights lots of times, is that people pull them all the way through and that can look really stripy, really harsh against really blonde hair, especially if their hair is kind of porous. It just doesn't take color very well. So that's one of my tricks of doing that reverse balayage, doing a color melt on somebody that's been really blonde, is to have some different tones that you're pulling through. So have one darker tone here and a little bit lighter here, and then maybe clear down here, or dark and then the next level or 2 levels lighter all the way through, or the dark with the clear. You change it up with every foil. You have to do it based on where you're at in their head and what look you're going for. But I feel like the more tones you can add in when you're putting color into a blonde, the better, because that's obviously what mimics real hair. And that's what's gonna give it lots of dimension and make it look really natural and not look like you just got a bunch of like 90s stripy low lights put in your hair. You know, nobody wants that. So anyways, that's it for today's tutorial. If you have any sort of suggestions or requests, I'd love to hear them. Maybe we'll do something fun with Aspen next time. It's been really fun to do 2 of my tutorials with her and really see the different progression with the same client. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!